What is up, all of my lovely subjects? It's Master Salazar here. And um last time I gave you guys a story time. The video that I uploaded apparently did not want to end where it was supposed to. 2 weeks ago, I did a story time about how I got into King Princess, and I wanted to do a story time this week about how I got into A Day to Remember. But I mean, that's what I said when I was recording my story time about how I got into King Princess. But when I uploaded that video, for some reason, I don't know if it was YouTube or my phone or what, but something caused the video to end before I could tell you guys that I wanted to tell you how I got into A Day to Remember this week. But anyway, so A Day to Remember, surprise, surprise, was another band. Yes, yet another band that I found out about because of Megan, my sister. I guess she got into them because of one of her best friends, and another shocker. They did scare me when I first heard them because that happened around the time when I was still scared of screamo music. So, the first song I heard from A Day to Remember was The Downfall of Us All from the Homesick album. That was the song that got me scared of A Day to Remember because when I first heard them, I was scared of them because I was totally terrified of screamo music back then. But yeah, The Downfall of Us All was the first one I heard, but the song that ended up getting me into A Day to Remember initially was, I think it was, I'm blanking on the name. You Should Have Killed Me When You Had the Chance from their debut album, and their name was Treason. That's still one of my favorite songs from A Day to Remember. You Should Have Killed Me When You Had the Chance. That is an amazing song. My favorite A Day to Remember song, though, would. It would probably be The Downfall of Us All. Or I'm Made of Wax, Larry, What Are You Made Of? Both from the Homesick album. There were a few songs I knew from each album before I listened to it, except for their most recent one, their most recent full length, Bad Vibrations, because I heard everything from Bad Vibrations in one day. So I think it was about like 6 months after they released Bad Vibrations when I listened to all of it. Anyway, let's start with, and their name was Treason. Let's see if I knew anything from this before I listened to it. I knew Casablanca sucked anyways. You should have killed me when you had the chance. And you had me at hello. I think my favorite song from this album would either be Heartless or Casablanca sucked anyways, or You Should Have Killed Me When You Had the Chance. It's one of those three. I love all three of them now. Old Record. I guess for their second album, they redid Heartless. And from the first album, they redid Heartless and put it on their second album, Old Record, and decided to call it Heartless. I don't know. But they kind of like remastered it, I guess. But it's kind of the same song. Same thing with You Had Me at Hello and Casablanca sucked anyways, and You Should Have Killed Me When You Had the Chance. So, pretty much the same songs that I knew from And Their Name Was Treason were the same songs I knew from Old Record before I listened to all of them. Which would make You Should Have Killed Me When You Had the Chance my favorite song from Old Record. Just like And Their Name Was Treason. Let's go in with the Homesick album now, which is the first album that I started hearing A Day to Remember songs from. Before I listened to this whole thing, I knew The Downfall of Us All, I'm Made of Wax, Larry, What Are You Made Of? New Jersey Legion Ice-T, Have Faith in Me, You Already Know What You Are, and If It Means a Lot to You. This whole album is amazing. I love it so much. Part of that might have to do with the fact that it was the first album from this band that I started hearing songs from, but it's an amazing album. And my favorite song would be the opening track, The Downfall of Us All. But the rest of this album has amazing songs too. Like I'm Made of Wax, Larry, What Are You Made Of? New Jersey Legion Ice-T, Have Faith in Me, You Already Know What You Are, and If It Means a Lot to You. Just Homesick it's a great album. Next we have the album What Separates Me From You. I didn't know that much from this before I listened to it. I knew Second Sucks, All Signs Point to Lauderdale, and You Be Tails, I'll Be Sonic. I don't know. This album was okay, but it's probably towards the bottom for me for my favorite albums from A Day to Remember. But my favorite song from this album would be All Signs Point to Lauderdale. I could be wrong, but I think it was either before Old Record or after Old Record, but I think it was before Homesick that A Day to Remember made For Those Who Have Heart. But then after they made What Separates Me From You, they made a reissue of For Those Who Have Heart. The songs I knew from For Those Who Have Heart before I listened to the whole thing were the opening track, Fast Forward to 2012, The Plot to Bomb the Panhandle, Monument, Heartless, You Should Have Killed Me When You Had the Chance, Since You've Been Gone, and that's it. My favorite song from this album would be You Should Have Killed Me When You Had the Chance. And then next we have Common Courtesy. This album, I'm not sure if I knew anything from this before I listened to the whole thing. I don't think I did. No, I did not know anything from Common Courtesy before I listened to this whole album. But when I did listen to it, I did really like City of Ocala, Right Back at It Again, Dead and Buried, I'm Already Gone, Life at 11, I Surrender, Life Lessons Learned the Hard Way, End of Me, I Remember, Good Things, and Same Book but Never the Same Page. I'd probably say my favorite song from this album would be I'm Already Gone. That was a really good song. Now, their most recent album, Bad Vibrations, the first A Day to Remember album that I heard entirely before I listened to every song, every album that they had released. There weren't any songs I knew from this album before I listened to the whole thing. Actually, that's not true now that I think about it. I knew Bullfight and I think Bullfight was probably the only. No, Bullfight and We Got This. The two singles they released for Bad Vibrations. At least I think those might have been the only two. I don't know, but Bad Vibrations is a very good album. I really like the song Naivety, Exposed. I love Bullfight. I like Justified, We Got This, Same About You, Turn Off the Radio, Negative Space, and In Florida. My favorite song from this album would either be. It's a three-way tie between We Got This, Same About You, or Turn Off the Radio. I don't know. I can't decide from those. A Day to Remember has two new singles out for a new album that they're writing. They had Degenerates, which is a great song. I love Degenerates. It's a very funny song. And one that I just heard today that they released like 3 weeks ago called Resentment, which sounds pretty good. So I think this next album that A Day to Remember releases is going to be pretty good. Anyway, that's all I can think of to say about A Day to Remember. Who should I do next week? Did I do Black Veil Brides? I think I did Black Veil Brides like a long time ago. I might have. I need to look here. I have not. I don't think I've done Black Veil Brides yet. I don't even I just realized I don't have every video of how I got into my bands in. I don't think I have every one of those videos in my playlist of how I got into the bands I like. No, I did not do Black Veil Brides yet, so next week I will give my lovely subjects a story time of how I got into Black Veil Brides. This has been Natser Salazar. I will see all my lovely subjects in my next video.